Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Thursday, October the 28th. And starting with the Russell here, we're looking at a triangle pattern from wave 3 here as an A, B, C, D and E here for wave 4, and then looking for wave 1 and back for wave 2. And pulling back into the box here, which is the 50-60% retracement level. If I'm wrong about this, then we'll have to look at wave C here and D over at this point, and then look for E of 4 over here for that. But let's just first see how this plays out. But let's go in here to the intraday basis and check on that with the tick chart. So from this wave 4 area through here, we're looking up at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going up for wave 5 here. So in wave 5 of 1, then we're looking for an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here for wave 2. And we can count 5 waves down here for the A wave and the B wave. And then the C wave here is extending out. So we've got 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, the fourth, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So we've got another little wave structure to play out from this point into the 61.8%. If this market continues down here and this here becomes some other type of structure corrector and moves down here, well, then we'll look at this being wave D up here, and we're still in the triangle at that point. So we need to basically just burn through this situation here. We need to finish this off, so we'll just check on that once it's done. And over to the NASDAQ here now. With the NASDAQ and the S&P, we can look at this in two ways. We'll look at all the detail in a minute, but just on the shell of it, the outside of it, the bigger picture here, what we can do is we can look at 5 waves moving up here. We can look at that as being completed as 5 waves, or we can look at all of this move up here, 5 waves, as wave 1 and then back for wave 2. So this is something that we need to resolve, but just to let you know that. So as always, I just count conservatively to the upside, so just working from the bottom up and focusing on the detail. Let's go in and take a look at this. On the 4-hour chart, no real change here. We've just from wave 4 here, we look at 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and I'm going for 1 and 2 in here, and 3, 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave for the third, the fourth, and then the fifth wave here. And as I mentioned, we may be looking at going back to this wave 1 here, all of this becoming wave 1 and back for wave 2 at that point. That's what we'll need to work out. So what we'll do is we'll allow wave 4 to play out, and then we'll check out this 5-wave structure up here, and then we'll just need to work through this here. We probably should have some ideas by then, but let's just cruise into the 1-hour chart. So yesterday I think we were sort of somewhere in here, and anyway, wave 3, 4 here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. We haven't really broken down as much as the S&P. This little move here moves up here in 5 waves. It's come back to the 61.8%. What we need to see is that we need to see it break lower for that. There'll be a bounce off here, of course. There's good support here at the 15.5. So we're still looking for this corrective move here, but we need to be careful because it could move up from here. And also being, Thursday, we'll look at Thursday being the bear day. So we've got a bit of that here, and yeah, let's see if Friday is strong. So let's see if we get that weakness into this. Let's just have a look at the S&P. It should be sitting up there. Now with the S&P here, this is a weekly chart, and we've had it up here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but I've never liked this particular wave 4 because really it's just too small. And secondly, as I always say, my wave 1 here the wave 3 here is still shorter than this wave 3, still shorter than wave 1, so I don't like that. So I'm as I've mentioned so many times, that I think that this wave 4 is this one here, but I just want to be conservative and we'll just keep playing this out here. But yeah, I think this wave 3 belongs up here and this wave 5 up here further. But anyway, not a biggie, long as you're aware of that. I still need to confirm all of that. So on the daily chart, I have put this wave 3 and 4 here, and we can blank this wave 4 out here, just sort of putting it in the background a little bit. So that means that the move up here will be from 4 to 5 will just be wave 3 up here of wave 5, and then we'll have, you know, this wave 4 over here, so to speak. Or we can just pop that over there somewhere for the time being. As mentioned in the NASDAQ as well here, there's a couple of ways we can look at this here. I think I'd like to sort of follow the banks. If you watch the other video that I put out this morning with the US stocks, I also included the Bank of America there as well, because it's in a wave 4 and also moving up here as well. So we could actually have wave 5 finish here, and then have that wave 3 finish there, and then have wave 4 come into play, and then have wave 5 to the upside here, wherever this may be in this space here. So there's a few things that we do need to sort out as we go, but yeah, just so you've got the shell. So what we talked about yesterday was having like all of this here, all this whole structure here as wave 1. So this would all be wave 1 here, and then back for wave 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've either got that bigger structure, or we need to build from the bottom up here and just keep building 5 waves. And when we've got those 5 waves sitting here, then that could be the top of wave 3. But we will need to look at how that plays out there, and we'll just need to work through it. Like most things, we need, sometimes we can let them go, sometimes we need to, check on them. Anyway, let's just go in and have a look at those 2 scenarios. So on the 4-hour chart here, this is the bigger picture here. So from this wave 4, and if I use the other wave 4, then I'll just have to reduce everything, but not a biggie. But just to point out that from the low of this wave 4, we could look at this as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it's something that would, we need to bring on board. And yeah, secondly, the other choice here is to have intermediate wave 3, 4 and 5 taking us up there. But anyway, what we're interested in at the moment is we're looking for Thursday to be the bear day, so we're getting that. We want Friday to sort of shore up a little bit. So anyway, 4-hour count, all up, 5 waves up for wave 1, back for wave 2 in this case. When we go to the hourly chart, it will be different. It will be the older count here, which is still good. In that case, from the bottom here of that wave 4, wherever that is over here, I don't know where you've wandered off to, not doing your job, man. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then building up here. I need to readjust these 2 1s here, but putting wave 1 here and 2 here, I need to bring that down here as well. So a little bit of work to do here. I'll just remove those. Anyway, still stuck with wave 3 there, so it doesn't really matter. So that's where we are there for this. So let me just, the 38, that's that will need to go there, that will need to go there. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3. I just need to check that on the tick chart. But what I was looking for here, the 38.2% retracement will be lower than that by the looks of it. Yeah, so the 38.2% retracement level is at 4,500. So just making a note of that. there, but let's just go to the tick chart here. Just want to see what I've done here, if anything. Okay, so this is where we were yesterday. A little bit of a mess here, but that's okay-ish. So we were looking down here at an ABC. We're looking for the B wave to come back. That B wave will need to be changed. That's part of that. Let me just figure this out a bit. Well, starters, that needs to go there at minimum. That will be an A wave, a B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that needs, so either goes there or there. I'll just get back to that in a moment, but I'll leave it there for the moment. This is going to come over here, and it doesn't count very well as an A wave, so it'll have to be a W and an X, WX to there probably, but I'll just get to that over here. We know that the 38.2% retracement level we just checked is down at the 4,500, which is down here. So just bear that in mind, just in case it gets out of control a little bit, goes a bit further than you expected. So the 38.2% retracement level is closer down here for that. Now what we need to do is this is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, so this is where it can come to. I mean, technically we could just grab that and put that there. That's, that's the starting point, I guess. So we'll do that. So then we need to look at this structure here. I'll just take it at face value for the time being. And let me just take a guess with this for a second. Pretty close, but I'll go with this one for the time being, but we might need to go with this one here. Bit weird. Anyway, so we've got 1 into here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got, I just need to label this for a second. Where's my little 4 gone? There it is. Where's that other low over here? Down there further. It's quite a long way down, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's got to go there. We can look at, I'll just take that to the midpoint, the 50. So that would leave us there. Is that finished? I don't think it is, but it's something like that. So, okay, so what about if I made a mistake? What about if I put that over there? That means that would be the low. So that could be the low there. So what you need to go long is, because this time on Thursday afternoon we'd probably see this starting to shore up a bit more, but it's you know, coming into for the Friday bullish run, but it's just lagging, so it's a bit of a problem. So technically this wave 4 here, right, can pull back to the wave 4 over here for that. So if you see a classic trading levels pattern sitting, because this is all of group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, all of group 2. So if we see a classic trading levels pattern sitting here, then you can go long from that point. But don't try to be clever, be smart. What I mean by that is, don't try to go in early. Do you know what I mean? Like, really wait for that first high to come in. It's like this here. So that's the first high, and then that's the second high. So you can go long above that and long above that, bring it down to the next one. You could probably bring it down to the third one here as well. You know what I mean? So make sure you get that right there, because otherwise you get trapped. And if you do get that right, then build in on top of 72 here and 80 here as well. Just split the bet up. And if it comes down through here, then you'll need to use this low here with the same pattern as well. Get that first high in there. Don't go chasing the breakout, because you just get whacked. Yeah, and then just do the same thing from that point. But the other thing is that it could pull down here further if I've got something wrong here. But the good news is, I guess, the good news about this, the good news is that because we've got this little ABC here, I still wonder if that could be wave 3, an A and a B and a C for 4 and down for 5. It's a bit big for wave 4 in relationship to this move. So I can't really go there. So yeah, look, it's probably a WXY, but it has dropped quite quickly here, but that's okay too. A, B, C could be that way too, can go that way. Just shooting the breeze here a little bit. Just seeing, I always like to use ABCs rather than WXYs if I can. Otherwise you get into an excuse all the time using WXY wherever you want. So a bit of a joker in the pack, really, is how I see it. So not a very good C wave, I have to admit. Pretty useless. Do it from that point, but that's not going to do it. Either way I look at this, the good news is that this is all corrective, so it makes all of this corrective as well. So it's definitely a pullback, you know, that's the thing. So the question is how far it's going to pull back. The thing that sort of haunts me a little bit, if I don't mind me saying, where's my NASDAQ chart? So with the NASDAQ, you can kind of imagine that if, let's just assume for a moment, which can make a fool of all of us, but if that is the top there, and it breaches this box and it drops lower, then we're going to be looking at really some sort of classic trading levels pattern at the 500 here, with the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then some sort of ABC. So if we go into an ABC correction here, then that's really going to distort this here, isn't it? This is going to bring this down. You know, all of this here would be, you know, we could end up with a bigger wave 4 here, basically. You know, we could end up with, you know, something coming down to this point here, down to the 38.2% retracement level, you know. So yeah, we've got to be very careful about going long here, because normally by this time on the Thursday after, it's only Thursday today, isn't it? Right, that's what I've got mixed up. Okay. Yeah, so just be careful about going long. Make sure that you've got it locked in. So I know that getting a support on 4565, that would be one area. If the market just came down into these things, you can also use here. But if it comes down any further, then we're going to have to pick it up Friday morning. That's when it we'll have to get it. So, but yeah, just in part of the bullish weekly cycle, what we're looking at here is Wednesday and Thursday typical price action. You know, that's why I say don't get caught in Wednesday, Thursday. Don't lose your money in that. You know, the idea really is to trade Thursday evening into Friday morning on the long side and go all the way around till, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, the other, you know, the next week, and then watch out for the Wednesday and Thursday. That's what we used to do when we were day trading, you know, well, keeping positions in there for that long, you know. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Let's just recap this a little bit further. Let's just go back to the 4-hour chart here. So this wave 4, this blue wave 4 that we're looking at, it hasn't pulled back to the previous wave 4. The 38.2% retracement level is back lower here to the 4500. So that means that we can certainly come down to this point. Well, I can see where it can get us quite close to that point. But it's also possible to come down here as well. Now, while this is going on here, we've got the same thing with the NASDAQ, which is a little bit behind the 8 ball because it's only come down this has only come down the last 2 hours, where this one here, this is a 4-hour chart. It's already been here for a while, you know. So this one is leading to the downside, and this one is following to the downside. So just be mindful of that. And yeah, even though they're counted a bit, they're counted differently, but they're the same. So this is a blue wave 3 and this is another wave 3, but it doesn't matter. They're still the same wave 3 in a way. It's just that I'm just working 2 counts. That's all. It's not a biggie. But the point being here is that, you know, in this particular instance here, the 38.2% retracement level is at the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. Just double checking. Well, close to it anyway. This is a long way, isn't it? You know, probably too far. So I don't think we need to worry about that too much. It's really all about this level here, I guess. Let's just see how this plays out here. So first of all, we need to see, like, picking tops or bottoms is you know, it's a mug's game really. So let's just see first if this pushes up from this low. But if it breaks, right, if it breaks down here, then we have to look at twofold here with the NASDAQ. We have to look at the market being at the 500. So this would be the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. And we would at minimum look for 5 waves down here, right, down to the 500 or close to it, and then some sort of bounce and then another move down at that point. So we want to try to come as close to this as possible. We may not come that close, but we still need a correction here. So let's just see if it drops out of the box. It's doing all the right things at this stage, being Thursday, bear day, all of that. So let's just see if it can finish this off here, and we'll pick it up tomorrow and we'll look for the long trade tomorrow. And the same for the S&P, the same for the S&P here as well. So we knew Wednesday and Thursday we're going to deliver this, and it's Thursday in Australia today. So yeah, we've got to get through all of that. So we'll be, as I mentioned before, we'll be looking to buy late Thursday afternoon, Friday, based on this. Okay, so yeah, a little bit complicated. So there's a couple of things here. The other point was that from this wave 4 here, do we just continue to count 5 waves up, keep moving that, or do we look at this as 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1 and back for 2. So that's something that we're working on as well. Yeah, and we've got to keep the banks in mind in all of this as well, because they're doing the same thing. They're at their tops, not quite at the tops of third waves. Let's just have a quick look at that while we're here, because this is BAC here, this is wave 3, wave 4. So just give you a bit of an idea. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 and back for 2. So that's clear as a bell. Okay, so this little move up here, wave 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. So we're only in the third wave here, and then we've got the fourth and the fifth to get to this third wave. Then we need the fourth, and then we need the fifth. So that's sort of where we are with all of this. But this will be, I'm thinking that we're just going to have this nice run all the way into Christmas, or close to it. And then we'll have our correction here. Now this might be a wave 4 here. It will be something different on other markets, but it's this trend here that's important, because I think this is quite a stabilizing trend, and that's going to help us with the S&P and the NASDAQ as well. Even though they're different sectors, but they're all they're kind of in the same boat in a way, So everything is pretty stable in this particular trend. That's all. Alrighty, sorry to waffle on so much, but yeah. So we'll look for long trades on the Friday morning. Okay, cheers.